All right, so let's get back to you and the coloring book down in the Delta. Let's talk
Yes.
about the down in the Delta coloring book.
Whew, down in the Delta. It's weird. I actually got this idea about a year ago. I was getting ready to, retire. And I was like, I want to do something to that can teach, inspire, and motivate. Those are three words that I always keep in the back of my mind whenever I set out to do something. I'm like, how can I do this? I love giving back. I love education. So I was like, what could I do that could kind of be a culminating event of both? And I started actually writing a book, and it led to the coloring book idea. And I'm brainstorming. Want to do something that can, pay homage and tribute to my hometown and where I grew up, and what made me the person I am, and like my background. So that's where I got the idea. And believe it or not, the title, and I was talking to my brother about this today. I was throwing out different ideas, and I was tumbling on a title, and I was like, man, I need a title. I need a title. And my brother actually shot me a text message with the title Down in the Delta. And I was like, ding, ding, ding. I liked it. And it stuck with me because it fit, you know, um, the purpose and the goal behind why I did this coloring book. And it relates to everything that I put in it. So it was just like a combination of all those things. And this book, I feel like when you asked me the question earlier about like what is it like growing up in the Delta, like growing up in the South, growing up in Mississippi, you can open this book and it gives you a feel of what that was like that experience. So it's a mixture of my childhood, and it's also a mixture of like the Southern heritage that I grew up around and grew up on. So I'm hoping that people like it. I've been doing really well with pushing it, and it's been receiving a lot of love. So hopefully, we can continue it, and going forth, I'm looking to do more of them.
Question. I know there's a lot of different pictures. I'm gonna ask you about some of the stuff you have in there. Did
I'm gonna
you
send you a copy. I'm gonna send you a copy.
do that, please? Do you have Did you draw a picture of Camp 8?
No,
Bro, hold on,
no.
hold on. I just asked that with a straight face in my calm voice.
You always comment. You always comment. You
Hey, for
always
those who
comment
don't
on
know what Camp 8 is, look up life and you need to go outside sometime, please, because but so what are some of the illustrations that are in the book for the people to color in?
it. Actually, I thought you never asked. Do you mind if I show you one?
Hey, look here, we got visuals for a reason.
You said what?
We got visuals for a reason.
Hey, so I'll give the people a sneak peek for those that don't have a copy.
Ooh, sneak peek.
Okay, we're talking about the coloring book.
That's what I'm talking about too.
So a lot of the graphics that I actually put in the book, it came from me coming home, and I've been away for the last like 11 years. So when I would come home visiting, I would act like a tourist in my hometown. Like I would go out and I would shop local. I would enjoy all the mom and pop stores and restaurants. I would go downtown and act like I was a tourist, as if I'd never been here. And my mom would always say, "I don't know why you act like a tourist, like you ain't grow up here." But it was just something that I
It
had been away
changes
from.
though.
You said what?
It changes though when you leave
It
because
it does, and I felt
when
like
I go to
I had to
when I go to
relearn
yes,
everything.
because when I go to Cartersville, it be shit there. Like one time, one of my homeboys, shout out to Todd Dino, Frico,
Listen,
he like took me on a tour of downtown Cartersville. Mind you, I grew up in Cartersville
but
from the
it's different.
18 I was
It's
there.
different.
And and it's so different. I go, wow, we got some nice restaurants, some nice bars. Like, hold on, we coming
Things
up.
have changed, and I'm so used to that childhood, teenagehood, like teenage lifestyle, to where now as an adult, coming back, and you got the hole in the walls, you got the little clubs and the bars that you couldn't go in, and the back alleys and stuff like that. So just being able to
Shout
come
out to
home.
Cafe Soul and T Cool.
That's the thing, like the soul food, the barbecue. So for me, I had to relearn my hometown. Like I was forgetting where things were at. Like I'm like, how do I get there? Like what is this? So every time I would come, I would take my nieces and nephews to some of the museums, some of the galleries, and just relearn a lot of the stuff that I already knew, but also introducing it to them. And with that, I would take pictures. I'm a photographer in my off time as well. So I would take a lot of pictures and, capture, our little skyline. And some of the art that's actually in the book is some of the photos that I actually took. So it's
Oh, that's
it's personal for me. So it's a lot of my artwork and some of the things that I would go around capturing, whether it was nature and building structures and people just smiling, just enjoying everyday life. And I just took a combination of those and illustrated. And I was like, I want to put this in my coloring book.
what made you go with the coloring book?
Um, like I said, I'm very artistic. I love art, and believe it or not, as an adult, I find myself coloring sometimes. Even when going to some of the restaurants, they give you the little things to color. So it was just what really, really inspired me was my nieces and nephews. Some of the ones that was recently born, they like the color. And
Okay.
every time I would come home, they would either be engaged on these little leapfrogs and these gadgets that, teach them their ABCs and everything else. And they would draw and, you know, skedaddle all over the paper and stuff. And I was
Not
like,
that.
it was something that I could do to, give back to them along with other kids. So it was just something that the idea went off and I kind of just ran with it. And it was different, it was unique. Not many people have done it, not many people think to do coloring books. So that kind of what led to me, going down this journey, and I'm kind of happy I did.